Good morning, everyone. It is November 25th, 2024. We're coming up on Thanksgiving season here. Prime and ready.
I
AJ,
can't wait.
food holiday right in front of us, only a couple days away.
Then you can enjoy your Christmas. I won't say a word.
Yes,
Just give me
yes.
till Friday.
Yeah.
That's all I
Listen,
ask.
this Thanksgiving might be my favorite holiday, but like it is still Thanksgiving happens to fall during Christmas season though. Like that's just the best way to put it. Is
No,
that Thanksgiving
no,
itself is
no,
great, but
no.
like there's no
Thanksgiving
reason.
isn't hunting season.
That's not a holiday season though. That's just a prime season. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Yeah, holiday season. Yeah, everything's coming up. Everything's getting busy. So, but yeah, so yeah, we're jumping right in here Monday morning. Again, good morning,
Yeah.
everyone.
Morning, everyone. Thank you.
Recapping, yeah, recapping Sunday football here for you as well as some Saturday college football. So we'll jump right in there. Start with our hometown
Just,
heroes.
just to be
We got
completely transparent, I am
oh yeah
very
yeah
much watching this Eagles football game right
yeah
now.
yeah. We got
A little
5:55 left in the
pre-recording,
third.
and I am very much invested. Although I think we should pull this out,
Yeah.
given the score at this moment.
This is one of those things where
I
the Rams are trying so hard to score. So after 7 or 8 minutes, they put together a wonderful drive. They score a touchdown, and then you guys just give it to Saquon twice and then score again. And so it's just it's so deflating for them that they're trying everything to get into the end zone. You guys are just like, here, go do that again.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so then the Rams are like, all right, fuck, here's another 20-minute drive coming up. So
Yes. But anyways, back
yeah,
to the action. We'll start with NCAA football this weekend.
yeah,
It was a pretty crazy weekend for college
yeah,
football. Lots of upsets, lots of unexpected unexpected outcomes.
yeah.
Um, and
A little bit of
this one
doomsday
we'll start.
scenarios in a good
Yeah,
way.
we'll start with one that honestly a couple that weren't unexpected. Ohio State takes care of business, beats Indiana at home.
Yeah.
I was expecting this, but also hopeful that they might be just peeking
Yeah,
ahead
yeah,
to
yeah.
Michigan
That's
a little
yeah. There's
bit.
only one team I really don't like, and that's yeah. That's I was just like,
Yeah,
damn, like it'd be cool to see that Indiana team win. Like rooting for their coach. Like yeah, like he's a dog. He's
yeah,
everywhere I go, I win. And so yeah, so it's like you were kind of rooting for them, and you wanted everyone to take them seriously. And it just sucks because like they could be such a good football team, but like Ohio State is a good football team too. So you
right.
just ran against Ohio State.
Yeah.
So yeah, Indiana, it looks gloom for them having that loss now, and
No,
that they don't play really much anyone else, but.
look, here's the thing. They're 10-1, which
Yeah, they
is
are.
more
Yeah,
than a
they
lot
still
of
have the
other schools
record,
in the country.
100%. Yeah,
And they'll likely get into the playoffs still if they
yeah,
win. I don't even know who
yeah,
they play next, but whoever they play next if they win.
yeah,
Like you
yeah. They
can't
yeah.
you can't count on get a loss against the number two team too much when the number
Right.
two
That's
team
yeah,
lost
because
to
it
the number
is
one team and they're still number two.
right. Yeah, yeah. So
So
yeah, so you take that for consideration. I think it just comes down to that Ohio State has played some other notable names in Indiana yet hasn't. This was the one for them that it was like,
absolutely,
oh, they're a real team, and they
yeah,
unfortunately didn't show up in that. So, but yeah, no, yeah, still hoping for it. It'd be cool to see them get to it and kind of push it to that level, but. Speaking of another team that we were hoping kind of push it to a level that they didn't, Army lost at Notre
yeah,
Dame.
kind of at
Feelings
Notre
there.
Dame. They were at Yankee
Oh yeah, it's
Stadium,
neutral.
so
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I'm watching to see if he caught this football or not. It's the
No, no,
whole
no, you're
AJ
good. That's,
Brown
yeah,
thing. I guess
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
football move and a fumble out of
Oh,
bounds. Yeah.
yeah, kind of. But
Um,
yeah, so yeah, Army loses. We were hoping for that undefeated season so that they could sneak a playoff bid. But after now, Navy has lost and Army has lost. Probably pretty unlikely that either one of them as independents get in.
yeah, I agree. I think I saw in their rankings,
Or
Army's now
independents, I
25th.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah, they fell the whole way to 25. So, yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to be in it, but it'll still be a good Army Navy game. Always looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like it's more exciting this year than ever before because it has like that like oh guys you were so close like what if like and
both
so
of them
like
lost
now
to
it's
Notre
like
Dame. So
yeah, and so it's like now they both have like that kind of that inkling of next season, like, oh hey, like we actually do play real football here too. Like that's a little nod to us. Like we
yeah,
actually do, we can compete. So
uh,
see if they get a player or two in a transfer portal kind of thing, and somebody wants to sign up and and enlist, and then yeah,
yeah. That's I
it's
think
yeah, it's such
with
an odd.
NIL, this is going to be real tough
It's an
for
odd.
the military schools.
Yes, yeah, because
Yeah,
yeah, what do you do? Yeah, like
you can't pay
you got
somebody 21 million to come play
yeah.
quarterback at
But I
Army.
mean, sure you can. Who are you charging it to? The United States government? Add it to the tab. Like, why not? They should be paying everybody. Like, everyone should be getting 6, 7 figure checks. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, Army, yeah, like I said, yeah, probably pretty much wrap that up. Um, Jumping over to our hometown heroes, I know you love them so much. Penn State, they sneak
Pulling
by
for them.
me. Yeah, sneak by Minnesota. Speaking of Penn State, thank you
They
again for the
did.
tickets.
Yes.
AJ here, our co-host, is a season ticket holder for Penn State football as well as Penn State men's hockey. Friday night, he won tickets for a Steve-O show, so he graciously gifted me tickets for me and my family to go see hockey. The boys loved it. Um, we were getting blown out at first. When I say we, I mean they lock into whoever the crowd is rooting for. So they were rooting for Penn State. Plus they kept recognizing that the Nittany Lion is what Kaylee wears because she works at Penn State
Oh,
Camp
okay.
Hill. So I
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, but this is where mommy works, kind of. And I was like, she's sort of related to this
Yeah.
company in a weird way. And I was like, in a way. Um, and yeah, so like they had like that hometown feeling where they were like, oh yeah, this is where mom works. This is who we should root for. And so like
Yeah.
they were getting blown out by Michigan for a little while, but then we fought back and we made some goals. There was a moment where I looked at Kaylee and I was like, this kid hit this move in between like four defenders. I swear, sitting there just watching him do it, it was like it was like a replay where you did this fast thing, but only for him. He just out of nowhere just went through. It looked like no one else even tried. They just stopped because he just kind of blew through everyone. I was like, damn. I was there. I said they should give him the puck more often. He hit it off to someone right back goal. I was like, told you. I was like, give that kid more often. I went right in and looked him up. He's got like Olympic gold medals for like under 17 hockey
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah. So yeah, those college hockey kids are built way different. Like they've been around doing this
The
shit like at a high level since like 12, 13, 14 usually.
They
So
have, but also the crazy thing about college hockey is that these guys can get drafted into the NHL and then go back and play college hockey.
right, yeah, yeah. There's like all the rights and everything
Yeah,
like that, and yeah,
exactly.
and I can just tell by the names on the back of the jerseys that some of these kids are not from the United States. So it's just
Oh,
like weird
yeah.
to see like United, like Penn State. It's just like as a kid, you're like, oh, it's that local college, but it's like no, they're a business now too, and they're bringing in overseas talent, as then they're like,
Yeah.
come get a free education and free American hoo ha, and fucking give you some ring time, but. Yeah, it was cool to see. Yeah, they came back. They ended up losing, but yeah, it was sweet to see. That's yeah, you have solid season. I even said that too. I looked at Kaylee and I said, in my head, I was like, dang, it kind of sucks that AJ has it where he doesn't see Penn State scoring twice. And then right away, I went, no, he buys these tickets so he can see Michigan. So this is
Yeah.
exactly where he wants to be. He gets to see them scoring on this goal two times. I was like,
Yes.
yeah, these are his best seats. I said, everyone else here is like, why would you want those? And AJ's like, this is why I want him because he shows up in a
Yeah.
yellow hoodie.
I
I was
I
like, that's
also
why.
sit there and talk shit to the Penn State bench the entire time when
Yeah,
Michigan's in town.
they're there. I was gonna
So
say that there was a guard there that was like kind of, I don't want to say dickish by any means, but like he looked very stern, but like the people around him like weren't getting too rowdy. But I was gonna send the boys down to like kind of hit the glass and just like say
yeah.
hi kind of thing, and then I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get bitched at. And I was like, these are AJ seats. I was like, I don't want to do anything to ruffle any
I don't
feathers. I was like,
care.
let's just hang out. But yeah, no, anyway, but yeah, so it was a good time. But anyway, so Penn State football though,
Yeah.
back on track. They sneak by again
For the
again with
record,
Minnesota
Michigan won 6-5 your night,
Friday night,
and they won 10 to
10 to
4
or 10-4, yeah.
against Penn State the next night when I attended. So,
Yeah, so
which was wild because we were
clean sweep.
Michigan was down 3-0 in the first period,
Oh damn.
and then came back and scored 10 goals.
Yeah.
And Jamie had
Michigan's
to.
got some grown ass men on their
They
team.
do, yeah.
Honestly,
They've
they
they've
had
got
some big
NFL
dogs.
or
Right? I just look
NHL
at
guys.
yeah, and I love
Yeah.
looking. I'm like, that dude's big as fuck. Like
Yeah.
that's a grown man amongst college kids.
Yeah. But literally, the one guy from Michigan scored 4 goals. His third one, I cocked my arm back, and Jamie just grabbed my arm. She's like, "You like that hat?" And I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, you're like this. No, yeah, you're right. I've always thought about that. Where I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like when people are like, yeah, you just throw your hat in the ring. I'm like, no, fucking no. Like I love my
Yeah.
hats. You think I'm just launching one for what? No, absolutely not. Especially knowing that like I don't know if they get donated or not, but I doubt it because it's worn hats and shit.
Yeah,
so like
it's-
so like, they're probably just scooping them up and throwing them away. It's like
Yeah.
fuck that. What a dumb tradition.
Yeah.
Throwing
some
hats,
teams, some teams do
tracking
displays in
overtime
their
losses.
concourse,
I'm
which
done.
is cool. But
I'm
yeah.
done with overtime loss tracking and I'm done with throwing hats. The teddy bear toss, I can always get behind that. I
That
love
is
that for
incredible.
Hershey and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
A
give
lot
me
of
that.
other places have
I want to
started
see
doing that
one
now.
like fill up. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like give me all the teddy bear tosses. But like, yeah, I'm keeping my fucking hat on. I don't care. Like, you're not getting my hat off my head.
Fair enough.
All right.
Anyways, back to college
yeah.
football on our little
Yep.
tangent.
Yeah. And again, but yeah, Penn State, yeah, they won. They barely beat Minnesota. But yeah, I mean, they stay, they get a win. That's
Yeah,
all that
they got the
matters. It's a
W.
dub. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. So yeah, they have that one loss again to Ole Miss, to Ohio State, who then also has that one loss to the number one team. So it's
Yeah.
and in that tracking, that Penn State's kind of still holding on. They're just little brother at this point, but they're still there.
What's going to be interesting is I think it's now locked up that Ohio State, assuming they beat Michigan, plays Oregon in the Big Ten championship. So
Yeah,
you
that's true
could
too. So
relatively
somebody's getting a second.
right. Well, either Oregon's getting their first loss or Ohio State gets a second one. And if Ohio State gets a second one, I mean, it all depends on how things break out. But like they could be, looking
Yeah.
at an 8 or 9 seed in the college playoffs. Just wild.
Yeah. For
They
a
go
team that
from
has pretty much
2 to
ran
8 or 9,
all year.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they've been the most consistent at 2, 3, 4 all year, whereas everyone else was like Georgia, Texas,
Right.
Alabama. Like
Up and
everyone is kind
down.
of up
Yeah.
and down, and it's just been two OSU all year long, pretty much, or top five ish. But
Yeah.
um, couple other ones to touch on. Speaking of being not top five anymore, Bama. They were seventh, but they lose again. So it's just weird to see Bama kind of falling from the higher power.
Yeah.
Ole Miss lost, which puts Georgia back in the title game for the SEC. So SEC got crazy again as usual. Um, or
Yep.
yeah, like Florida winning as unranked, and there was I forget what else. There was something else I was looking at. There was an SEC game where I literally was like, "That's the shit I was talking about AJ too." In like the first few weeks, where I was like, "Dude, SEC football, I just never ever ever trust."
Missed field goal.
This is so weird because you're like a second ahead of me for once, so I'm just like, "Fuck, dude! Like this sucks. Like,
Sorry.
who wants this? This sucks." No, you're totally fine. No, I think it's because I rewound the other night, so I just got to refresh my thing and it'll be
Oh,
back
gotcha.
up. I saw like it was early, but like Kentucky was, it was like 7-7, and then Texas just started running away
Oh,
with
okay.
it. But
Yeah.
there was another. Oh yeah, I mean Oklahoma was the SEC game. That's what I was thinking of. That beat Alabama. Florida unranked
Yeah.
beat Ole Miss. I mean, yeah, so it's just SEC. Oh, and Auburn. That's what it was. The fucking 4-0 overtime game
Oh,
in Texas
yeah.
A&M. Yeah, like that one was crazy. That's like SEC football is just so wild, and I love it. Like
Right.
that's
Yeah.
just like that is the NFL of the college football. Like, who cares about the rest of it? Like Michigan and Ohio State and all that stuff. Like, I get it, but like these SEC teams are crazy. You give me any of like the SEC teams in like a 5 game series against pretty much anyone. Like, I would take Bama over Oregon in like a 5 game series. Like, I think Oregon's a better team now and all that, but like these programs are like built way different. I think.
I
Like,
want to see those boys come up in January to Ohio State and Michigan and
yeah.
play in the cold, and then we
Yeah,
can talk.
but again, you get a 5 game series out of it. So you get one on the road, one back, one I think that I don't know. Like SEC teams are just when you're 8-3, but you're 4-3 in the SEC. You've played 7 SEC games. Like you're playing nonstop fucking psycho football teams, whereas nowhere else you're playing dog water teams half the year.
I'll give you
Like,
that. They have
you
a
know what I mean? Like
deeper
that, like
talent.
yes,
for
like even
sure.
your
Yeah.
shittier teams are way shittier than the SEC teams. Like that's what I mean. Like a
Yeah.
7 seed in the SEC is like a 1, 2, 3 seed in the Big. Like you're playing, like you're the more like again. This is why I hate college football because like why the fuck is it broken up like this? It's so dumb that the best teams have always just like been in the SEC, and then you get sprinkles of other good teams, but the tradition is
Yeah.
that the dogs are just right there. So. But yeah, anyway,
They grow them
Hey,
different down south.
yes, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much my point. Is that just like again, you have nothing more to do in certain states down there. If you're not by the beach, you got nothing to do but play
Yeah.
football in the nice weather. So like
What
that's
does
just
what does
they
one do in Arkansas?
Hey, Arkansas, that was our example. That's what I mean. Yeah, every time I see that, I'm like, yeah, what the fuck else are you doing in Oklahoma? Like you're playing football. Like
And even
you're
let's
Oklahoma's just North Texas, so like you're just playing
yeah, right.
football.
And let's be real, the beach in Mississippi, Louisiana, all
Yeah,
those
you're
are
not.
not
Yeah,
a beach.
yeah.
Like,
You go and then you go. Damn, I should be playing football right now. Like that's the extent of it. Yeah. Last thing I would say, unless you have anything else for college football, Colorado loses.
yeah, we
Embarrassing loss to
fumbled the
Kansas.
bag.
Fumbled the bag. Dion had some motivation going. There was a scenario where they sneak in and. His quote to the team was intoxicated with success, which is hilarious coming from someone with like such an ego of a Deion Sanders.
Yeah. What did you think of the Sanders shove? Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah, speaking of Sanders Shove, though, I had to explain to Kayla. I didn't have to, but I did anyway. I felt like that dude. I was like explaining shit in the crowd for no reason. We were watching the hockey game Friday night, and one of the Penn State dudes scored on the other side and came skating by Michigan and hit him with the Shador watch as he skated by. And I was like, that's a thing for Colorado. Deion Sanders, you know that name? I was like, his son, right? And so like I just was talking about it. And I was like, that's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I think that's a frustration loss where he just was probably getting picked on all game. Like you guys are getting shit on by a dog team, and then
Yeah.
I think he let the emotion get the best of him. I think if it's not for who he is, that would be a huge mark on who he like. If it was anyone else, it would be, oh, he can't handle it. This is what's going to happen in the NFL. Blah 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 blah. Because it's Dion's son, I think it kind of gets just brushed under the rug, and it's
Right.
just like, yeah, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I agree with you.
and like Dion talks to that ref to be like, you make a statement that this didn't happen, or like it was like it didn't look to be what it was, like something like that. Like whereas no one else can have that kind of pool. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think anything drastic happens with it, but I think that it definitely gets brushed under the rug more than anything.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah, so yeah,
unfortunately agree with you.
yeah, that's yeah. I don't
I
think that
just
there's anything
I
that anyone's
hate
gonna do. We're gonna get a cease and desist tomorrow morning. The Dion's gonna be like a hurt cup of sports. Shut him down. Like shut them the fuck down. Like you're talking shit on
yeah.
Shador. They said he pushed him.
AJ.
AJ's rooting for AJ. Oh,
AJ Brown got moves.
oh, yeah. You should have stayed up after all that. Score a touchdown.
He's
Yeah,
like he's like that big guy that like once he gets moving, he's quick as shit, but that time to
yeah,
get moving takes
yeah.
forever.
He's a fucking locomotive.
Yeah.
He needs to hit that LeBron training so he has that speed.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that's about it for college football, though. Like you said, we talked about that off air. We'll talk
Yeah.
about college basketball, NBA, NHL, all that other good stuff that's creeping up right around now. We'll talk about that on Tuesday night's episode or Wednesday morning's episode.
Yep.
Thursday night live, we will not be this week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you guys get a week off from us. Yeah, we'll be live Tuesday morning or Tuesday or Wednesday morning or live, not live. We will have an episode
So
for you Wednesday morning.
morning.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And
that's what I
then
was
we'll
going
come
for.
back Sunday
night,
slash
just
Monday.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right, so yeah, diving right into NFL.
Yep. You got your bye weeks.
Yeah, my NSYNC, my bye. Falcons, Bills, Bengals, Saints, Jets, Jaguars. So Saints, Jets, Jaguars somehow didn't get a loss even on their bye week. Bengals, I think they needed a rest week to figure out if they're blowing their team up or gonna try to keep fighting. Bills beat the Chiefs last week, go into a bye week. They're probably going to be hotter than ever. And Falcons, probably a much needed bye week as well, especially after getting dog walked by the Broncos. They probably needed a break. That sucks. That's probably a really long bye week for those guys. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we had Thursday night's game, dubbed as the snow globe game because of the gigantic fucking snowflakes that we were watching. They made our TVs look insane, so that'll be fun to see. That's
cool.
that's an NFL Films. Got a lot of clips from Jameis. Jameis saying, "God damn it, someone jump off sides!" Like, dude, he is so funny. I could watch Jameis all day. Like, even if it's manufactured and he's just doing it for laughs, it's still funny. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it still works. Like, I'm still chuckling. I don't care if it's dumb or not. Like,
Right.
it's still funny. But yeah, so diving right in, 1 o'clock games. First one we have up is Vikings at Bears. Vikings win 30-27 in overtime.
Yeah. Wild ending to the game. The Bears come back 17 points in the fourth quarter to tie it. And then they just fumbled it away in overtime. This is one of those games where I look at it and I say both teams did fairly well. They each had a turnover. They had similar 22 first downs to 20 first downs, 33 minutes to 34 minutes of time of possession. It's where those small details matter. And that's where, like, a rookie quarterback, you lose these games. And, like, a team that's just not there every week, like the Vikings have been, that's where you lose these games.
Yeah.
I think there was a point where Sam Darnold got hurt. He came out for a play, came back in next play. So thankful for that.
Yeah, something to watch. Though.
Yeah.
Who is their backup if not there?
I don't even
or
know.
Do you not? He probably didn't even
famous.
attempt to pass. Yeah.
Yeah, he came in and he handed the ball off and did
Yeah.
walk back on the field.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, this is my one PMT plug game is that Big Cat is a Bears fan, and he just absolutely despises Matt Eberflus. Like, he just every week talks about how fucking dumb they are and how terrible the offensive coordinator is.
Yeah.
And, like, what a dumb thing it was last week to fire the offensive coordinator but not the coach. Like, the coach is an offensive coach, and he hired him. Like, it is all a disaster. And so, like, I agree with him. Like, what a shit show it is in Chicago. But yeah, that, like you said, like, it feels like it sometimes isn't even Caleb's fault. It feels like he's just put in these weird ass situations with these dumbass decisions. But I mean, yeah, today it was a little different, but it kind of felt like Caleb's fault.
was.
But yeah, again, it's just still you kind of put him in weird spots to make those bad decisions. Like, stop doing that to your rookie quarterback. So
yeah. And then
yeah, so this could be the game that maybe does get Eberflus fired, but also they held tight with the Vikings.
Not
so
not at all.
Yeah, maybe not.
You can't come off a performance like that losing in overtime.
Yeah,
Caleb
still
threw for
fired,
almost 350. Had what, two touchdowns. They played well. You just got beat by a better team. There's another game that goes like this. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but it happens.
Yeah, you still get the dub
Yeah,
though. Yep.
exactly. The only note that I want to add, Mr. Simone Biles, aka Jonathan
Mhm.
Owens, did have a fumble recovery, so they did show her on TV, which was kind of entertaining.
Cool.
Um,
Getting the Taylor Swift treatment.
yeah, so I'm a huge Simone Biles fan. She's just so cool, but
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
um,
that's yeah. It's
but
of
yeah,
course not one that I'm like tuning in every time. I'm like, oh, I gotta catch the USA Gymnastics today at 2 o'clock. But like when I see it pop up, I'm willing to stay and watch. Whereas like baseball
yeah,
highlights come up, and if it's not the World Series, I'm like, fucking The Office,
yep.
get out of here.
Swipe up.
Yeah, change the next
Yeah,
channel. All right, moving on. We have Lions at Colts. Um, Lions stay damn near perfect. I mean, they
yeah,
are just rolling. Not a great day offensively. Your note was, not flashy, but a win
yeah.
still a win, and they get the win. I think more impressively is that they lost another defender and kept their defense up. So
Right.
they like their defense keeping the Colts only 6 points. I mean, the Colts are kind of an offensive disaster, but they put up those high scoring games and fight with teams. Whereas the Lions just kind of were like, no, you're not gonna push the ball at all day
Yeah,
long. Be miserable and sit tight.
yeah. The the Colts put up a good fight, but they played a much better game, and the
Yeah,
Lions
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
ran the
The
shit out
Lions,
of
the
the
Lions are
football.
just, yeah, they are just for real too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Jameer
they
Gibbs
had,
had 21 carries.
yeah. It felt like they didn't have as much interest in running the score up this week as they have in weeks prior. They didn't want
Right.
the 50 bucket this week. They were content with just being up by 2.5 scores. Like yeah,
Yeah.
they were there with a 3 possession game. They were content. So yeah, Lions. I mean, I'm still content with my Super Bowl prediction. I think the Lions, as long as they don't fuck it up. I mean, because we even said to barring any injuries, and then they lose Aiden Hutchinson, and they are still rolling with just
Yeah.
one loss. So yeah, so it's crazy to see the Lions doing what they're doing right now. But
Yep. I agree.
um, yeah, another not so flashy game, but a game that has changed a little bit of the narrative surrounding the Miami Dolphins. Patriots in Miami,
Has
30, yeah, 34-15 Dolphins. Dolphins always seem to have the Patriots number. Patriots can't get away from them. But yeah, two
I
of four touchdowns.
I am convinced, and I don't know that you could convince me otherwise. The Dolphins have the best home field advantage in the NFL. When it gets to this time of year and these northern teams, which by the way, all three of their division opponents play in
Are
the
in the North
Northeast,
fucking
where it's like 32 degrees outside. Then they gotta fly down to Miami, where it's like even in the games where it's 60, it's just humid as shit.
all right. XY2 banana on 7. That would be me
Yeah,
every fucking
exactly.
away game. I would get
Yes.
off that plane snorting Theraflu through my anus. I would be doing whatever I could to not feel like absolute dog water while those guys are just like, hey, we're in Miami this week. We're chilling right now. Like, no big deal at
Yeah,
all. So, yeah,
exactly.
you're not wrong that is like the Dolphins do have a crazy. Plus, then, like, whenever it is those hot games, the away team is getting melted by the sun. When it's the winter games, they're fucking up there. Like, yeah, I would have a sinus infection every time I showed up to play the Dolphins. It would be inevitable. Getting off that
100%.
plane. Every time I've flown back and forth during the winter, like when I come up and visited from Thanksgiving and stuff when I was living in Florida, like anytime the weather changed like that, you just, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I'm a fucking pussy and I'm just sitting here and I'm dumb. I'm not an NFL linebacker, but still,
Right.
it's still altitude and temperature change and all
Yeah.
that shit. Like your body is your body. And so, like, it's still like you could have some adverse effect
They
that you're not
just
ready for.
they have something that you just can't simulate in your practice
Yeah,
facility.
nothing.
Like you
Yeah.
can't
Because like even the
you can't
dog,
just
even
turn
the
the humidity up in your practice facility to
Lions and
72%.
Vikings, they both have a dome, so they're practicing, but like they still gotta walk from their car to there in the freezing
Right.
cold. They still gotta go from their house to their car. It's still cold out. Like
Yeah.
still gotta put their kids on the bus and it's freezing fucking cold out. Like
Yeah.
they're dealing in cold weather. They're living there. So like yeah, you can't put them in a fully simulated globe. So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
But yeah,
solid point there. But yeah,
two look
Dolphins
good.
surging.
I
Yeah.
Let me pull up their schedule. Okay, they
So yeah, the
got
Patriots. Patriots are
Packers.
probably in give up watch now. They probably this loss probably puts them back into just like all right, we're done here.
I definitely agree with that. And then the
Three.
Dolphins, they're like
They're
a
in it.
team.
Don't do
They're
that. Don't do that to me.
sorry.
It's Monday morning, man. Come on now.
Yeah. The Dolphins are in it, but they're also not when you look at their schedule because they're going to the Packers
Loss.
this weekend, right? 11/28. Oh no, that's Thanksgiving Day.
Mm.
Right? Yeah,
Loss.
11/28.
Yeah. Loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. They play Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a late game. Thanksgiving
Wait,
Day.
no, I thought it was Dolphins Rams. No, it is Dolphins
No,
Packers. You're
Dolphins
right.
Packers.
Yeah.
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 So you got to go up there. We'll talk about them here in a few minutes, but the Packers looked good. I don't know. And then you get the Jets. I assume they win that. Then you go Texans, 49ers, Browns, Jets. I guess they could win out. I mean, or
Browns Jets are probably dubs. 49ers.
49ers could go either way, but you play the Jets twice. So,
Yeah, that's
I
probably
mean,
two wins there.
it's like a,
Aaron Rodgers could get benched. Like, yeah, the Jets
yeah.
are fucking dumpster fire right now.
Yeah,
So
I'm
the
real interested to see what happens with the Miami
yeah.
schedule the rest of the season.
Tua hit the ground, threw up gang signs again. Everyone said that they were dead. The Rams' entire team died in a bus crash. Everyone said that they were dead, and now they're both like,
Yeah,
like they look like good football teams. They just got off
right.
to a rough start. So like, can they get it together? And then if
Yeah.
they do get it together, now they're a good football team that's on a streak, playing as a low seed, so they get to play some shittier situations. Like, yeah, so yeah, it's interesting to see the Dolphins. Yeah, they could definitely make a surge here and kind of play late, but it's also cool to see that the playoff picture right now, the Broncos are the 7 seed, so we sneak in past them. It's the Dolphins, the Colts, and the Bengals that are on the outside looking in of the fucking Denver Broncos as the 7 seed. Like, how pathetic to be in that spot.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left.
Yeah, oh yeah, we have a lot of time to fuck this up, but just saying.
So do the Dolphins.
Yeah.
We had
yeah,
this
moving
discussion, so we won't
on
go into it
to
again. But yeah, yeah.
Tommy double Tommy or whatever the hell it's called, the
I
Tommy
think he got
DeVito
hurt,
touchdown.
right?
I believe so.
He
Yeah,
got
but I mean,
leveled in the end zone.
yeah.
I
Either
don't
way,
know.
the Giants.
Did
are
he come
just,
back? I didn't even catch if he came back.
I
from
did
the
not. I
game.
watched a little bit of this game and then I turned it off because the Giants are just so bad. It just was.
Yeah, Drew Lock came in and threw one pass, and then Tommy DeVito came back. So
You say here's a 3-yard pass and I'm back out.
yeah,
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, at least Drew Lock got his playing time. He was probably excited about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Tommy DeVito, yeah, Baker scores a touchdown, throws up the double Tommy DeVito touchdown dance, and
yeah,
yeah, the Bucks are now rolling as well. I mean, they're another team that they're 5-6, so it's hard to say that they're rolling, but like they have such a good football team. So like if they just can win some games and get into the playoffs, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
But like they gotta get there. They gotta get to that point.
I agree with you, and lucky for them, nobody on their division's running away. They're a game behind Atlanta in the division.
They still play the Panthers twice.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the Saints won. Saints is a tough game for them always. But
Right.
yeah, they have at Chargers, at Cowboys,
I-
2 games against the Panthers. Like
Yeah, they play the Raiders and the Cowboys. Yeah, I look at it and I'm like, one loss easily with the Chargers. But then you could win
everything
the
else
Saints
is
game.
questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah, everything else is
like-
questionable. Yeah.
At that point, are the Saints going to be playing for anything?
No, hell no.
Like-
The Saints are dog shit too.
Yeah, so like they probably want to lose the game and get a better draft pick. So like, and a new head coach. So
They need a lot of stuff over there.
yeah, so yeah, I think the Bucks are in a good position. But yeah,
Which is also so weird because I'm talking about how shitty the Saints are, and they're 4-7, and the Bucks are 5-6. So,
right. Yeah,
Yeah, but still, yeah, it's just they're such a separate football team.
it's
Like it's just
it's
such
the
a different,
mindset because we watched the
like-
Saints lose 7 games in a row,
damn
right?
near. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's
5 or 6, something like that.
No, 7 in a row. They were 2-0. They lost 7 in a row. Then they won 2 more. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're just in such a weird spot. But yeah, the Bucks, like you expected them to be good, and they're just slipping. But the Saints, like it's like, oh wow, they were way better than we thought. Oh no, they're not. Oh maybe they
Yeah.
are. Like
Speaking of teams, I don't know what to do with the Commanders.
yeah, they might.
Their
they might be rough.
their miracle bid falls short with a missed extra point, and then it just kind of fumbled it from there. And the score the score makes it look a lot worse than it was. But they
Yeah.
were about to tie it
The
27.
score also makes it look like a lot better of a game than it was. It was 50 minutes of dog shit football, and then 10 minutes of just chaos.
And
Where there was a kickoff return for a touchdown,
the
an 80-yard
final-
touchdown pass, a missed extra point, an onside kick return for a touchdown. Like yeah, it
punt
just was
blocked,
like
field goal block. Yeah,
yeah, you got a little bit of everything in like literally the last 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Like it just was like if you were tuned
But-
in, you got all of it.
yeah. The final 3 minutes had 4 touchdowns. So
It's just it was a very boring game for the first 55 minutes of it. But
yeah. But thank you, Cowboys.
yeah.
Y'all did me a solid
From
there.
from the grave, killing the Commanders. That's so
Yeah,
the Commanders
give us
unfortunately a little bit of
three-game
like,
lead in the
oh, are they a
division.
1 seed? And then now they might not even make the playoffs. Like they are just
I
in. I mean,
think
they will,
I
but
will
like
say
it's
their
just one of those
schedule
ones where
plays out
like
that I think they'll be fine.
they're one though that like it's like they're a young team. Dan Quinn is a questionable coach to begin with. Like, is this a psyche thing? Like, do
Yeah.
they now where they're like, holy shit, like why are we losing these games? And then they lose another one that they shouldn't lose. Like now they're on the outside looking in
Yeah.
if they keep losing because they've lost a handful. So like,
Well, while I agree with you, they have a get right
yeah,
game against the Titans next weekend. So
Titans just beat the Texans today. Like that's yeah, I just you never know. I mean, it's
Marshawn. To be fair, Marshawn Lattimore has not played for them
I
yet.
was yeah, that's true too.
So
Yeah, so if he finally comes back, that's.
when he
I
comes
mean, yeah, like
back,
The Commanders' schedule is not favorable. They are home versus Titans, and the Titans are really who knows. They have at the Saints, so that's probably a dub. Then they're home against the Eagles, home against the Falcons, and then they have on the road against Cowboys. So like they're what 7-5, and that's so they're looking at like a split remaining schedule, and so I mean yeah, puts them at their 10 wins, so they might be able to sneak in. But again, that's what I mean. Like if they just psych themselves out and lose one of those games that they shouldn't, all of a sudden they're at 9 wins and they're on the outside looking in. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Long season, a lot of football left to be played, but I,
2/3 of the way through.
yeah, it's still like it's one of those
Yeah, no,
things
yeah,
you never
for
know
sure. Yeah, you could
because
win out, you could lose out. Like, yeah,
we just mentioned it. Well, there's a game in between, which I think we can skip over. Titans beat the Texans today. Who would have guessed?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
for
yeah.
whatever reason, we didn't grab the score on that, but the final score was 32
Oh
to
shit!
Titans, Texans 27.
I got
Um,
sidetracked by the safety. Honestly, I saw the score and was like, "What a weird ending." And then I saw it and I was like, "Oh yeah, he
yeah,
did step out. That does make sense. That was the final score, 32."
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we'll dive into that game instead of the Chiefs Panthers first. But yeah, Titans Texans, like you said, 32 Titans, 27 Texans. They were in Houston. CJ Stroud, it wasn't as bad as Dan Orlovsky's. He wasn't completely alone. Stepped out of the end zone. He did kind of get
Right.
tackled out of the end zone. Like he
Yeah.
had nowhere really to go. It was a little less
It
obnoxious as
was
Dan Orlovsky's.
it
But
was one
it'll
of
still
those
be
are you
junked
gonna
about.
step out or are you gonna get tackled in the end
Yeah,
zone?
and he kind of did both. Like
Yeah.
he kind of did both though. Like yeah, he didn't really make the best of either world.
Yeah.
But yeah, the offensive lineman stumbled back and like that whole right side just blew up and he had nowhere to go. So it was
Yeah.
just like take a knee or try, and he at least tried. So I mean yeah, at this
Also,
point
if I
though,
remember correctly, Kaimi Fairbairn missed a field goal. Oh, okay, Coop.
which yeah would have put them in a tie
Um,
game situation
yeah,
instead of playing so deeply
right,
for a score
exactly.
there and
Yeah,
CJ being on their own 2 yard line trying to scramble around. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean at this point,
So
who would you consider a bigger fraud, the Texans or the Commanders? Both of them were 2 seeds at one point. They looked like they were that this was their year. Rookie quarterback, sophomore quarterback. It was just they were vibing. But who do we now think might not make the playoffs? Who's less likely to make the playoffs?
who's less likely?
Because I
Have to
feel
look
like
at the
they're
standings.
between Texans, Commanders. I feel like they're the equal team, AFC, NFC. Like they're similar teams. Like young,
Okay,
they have weapons. They just aren't quite all there yet. Young
so
coaches.
I I guess that I have two answers to this question. Who do I think makes the playoffs? If I had to pick one, I'm taking the Texans. The
Yeah.
AFC is just a weaker conference this year. There's
So
not as many teams
The Broncos are in right now.
vying. Right. There's not as many teams vying for those 7 spots, 8 spots. Um,
7 spots.
or yeah, 7 spots. Yeah, there's not as many teams vying for those 7 spots because you look at the 7 teams. It's Baltimore, Houston, Denver, and then it drops off to 5 wins. So they've got a 2 game lead essentially on a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Where you go to the NFC and you have the Commanders have 7 wins, but then Seattle, Atlanta, Arizona have 6 wins, and then Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Tampa Bay have 5 wins. So
Yeah, and they're all
your
right there.
2 game lead is what I list off 6 teams. You know what I mean?
That's what I
So
said. That yeah, the
you
Commanders could
lose
slip
one
up and lose a
game,
game.
yeah,
And
and
it's
suddenly, boom, you're out.
yeah.
So I think if one team makes it, Houston. Now, which team do I think is the fraud? Uh, I I guess I would have to say the Commanders, and it's not so much that they're a fraud as much as they're a young team.
Makes you feel good to say that.
It does, yeah, a little bit.
He said
Um,
Commanders with a little grin.
But like, yeah, they're just. It's not so much that I'm labeling them a fraud as
I
much as
was
they're
just gonna
just a
say
young
it
team.
sucks to call either one a fraud because you know they're
Yeah.
back next year. Like both these teams are back. Because okay, so here's the thing: next year, both these teams they're under 500. Then they're frauds this year.
Right.
Like then it's
Yes.
fair to say that they were
Also,
just complete full of shit. Like what
yeah.
happened? They got blown up and they didn't lose
Right.
anybody big. Like just started losing for no
Yeah.
reason. Like is that coaching? Is it quarterback play? What is it? But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for both these teams. I want them both to make the playoffs. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're exciting football when they're playing well. But yeah, even if they get bounced early this year, I think they're right back at it next year. So
Yeah. And I definitely understand where you're coming from with the Texans because they've had the head coach now,
yeah, and they're
second
a
year
little more settled.
quarterback.
So like yeah, but
You
still yeah,
getting
you're
into
still second
things.
year and sophomore for CJ Stroud, which is crazy.
Right. And then you look at the flip side though. Dan Quinn's first season in Washington, Jaden Daniels' first season in Washington. Um, it's hard to say that they're frauds per se, um, because I think what frustrates me about the Houston Texans, and I hate to give him credit, but I do like his opinion on this. When it comes to head coaches, typically you have offensive and you have defensive head coaches. D'Amico Ryans is a defensive coach, and your
Yes.
defense is struggling.
Yep.
When you
That's never
can't,
good.
when you can't can get your side of the ball under control, it's
The other
concerning
side, yeah.
and it's frustrating
Yep.
because I can go hire an offensive coordinator to make the offense great. But if you're in control of the defense as the head coach and a defensive
So why are
coach,
you hiring another defensive coordinator? Like yeah,
right,
it's
exactly. So
yeah.
it's just slightly concerning, but
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, they're in a situation where like they have a good team, but yeah, they are young.
yeah,
So yeah, again, I think Texas Commanders are both back and they're fighting for playoff spots. If not this year, definitely next year. So they're
right,
right back into it. But
right. And
but
then
yeah, not
last
to
one
skim over
o'clock
that
game,
one. Yeah, so not to skim over that one. But yeah, Chiefs at Panthers.
tighter than we
Chiefs are
thought.
yeah, Chiefs running away with it for a little bit, and then Panthers start clawing back down 8, get a touchdown in a 2, tie it up at 27. And then the Chiefs just do Chiefs things. They run their
Yeah,
offense. They get down into field goal runs. They run the clock. They kick a field goal. Game's over. They go home.
yeah.
So,
This is the exact same scenario in my mind as the Vikings Bears.
yep.
You have a
Outcoached,
young yeah,
outplayed.
you have
Yep.
a young team who's in it, but they just don't do everything small right. Um, and for anybody not watching, Dane just broke his headphones and can't hear me. Oh, almost had an interception in the Eagles game.
That was close.
So yeah, just same thing. Small details matter. A team that's used to winning and has been around winning gets the win. Where the
Yep.
Panthers, sorry,
Not even
better
close.
luck
Not
next
even
time.
close. Yeah,
Yeah,
not even close. You
you
fought
get
really hard, and
right.
you were way further than you thought you were, even with
Yes.
only a field goal win.
Yeah, exactly. And we've talked about this. The Chiefs aren't playing their best football, and they're still getting
No, that's what
W's.
Patrick Mahomes said after the game. He said, "I'd really like to start blowing people out. I'm tired of winning, but I only want to score. Like I want to stop winning on the last play," which is like so dickish to say, but it's like yeah, they're such
Yeah,
a good team. They should be blowing people out.
yeah.
So
So then going into the 4 o'clock games, you got your home team
yeah, so Broncos at Raiders. We get a win, 29-19
in
in
Vegas.
in
First one.
Vegas for the first time. Cortland Sutton, one of our most senior players at this point, most senior players at this point, said, this is we're finally sweeping the Raiders 2 games in a season. Like it just feels good. This is the turning of the tide, is his quote that he said. But I, as an idiot, nobody who knows nothing on football, still not sold. Those boomers tore me up on Facebook because they think I'm wrong, but I found the random ass stats that actually proves that Bo Nix and Trevor Simeon are goddamn near the same thing with a little bit extra wheels. But
Fair enough.
yeah,
I
I'm not sold. A dub is a dub, but yeah, we're sitting at 7th with 7 wins. There's a 2 game lead we have, but I just feel like we fumble it. I feel like we just start to piss it away. Like I just don't think there's any shot that we hang on to this.
we had this discussion already, so I won't go into it. But I do want to mention that we had a real big missed opportunity because Formula One was in Vegas and Denver played in Vegas this weekend. So
Mm.
like, real missed opportunity on our part. Fumble, fumble.
Yeah, we should
Ah,
have went. We should have just went.
yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
why we didn't.
we should have
Just
live streamed it and just went.
yeah. So sorry,
Watch
sorry to
the.
our fans. That's all I
Yeah, that's
got.
actually very funny too because we were Saturday night. I was done. I was watching college football, laying in bed, and I saw it pop up, and I was like, this is about to start. I was like, that's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. I was like, this is about to start
1
racing right now. I was
a.m.
like, yeah,
local
I was like,
time
this
for
is nuts. Yeah, it
us.
was like
Yeah.
12:30, and they were like, we're doing warm ups or whatever. Maybe it was Friday night, and they were doing qualifying laps or whatever. And I was like, this is wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Broncos. Yeah, we get the dub. We're 7-5, loving it, but not really because what's the point? We're gonna fumble the rest of the season. I don't think there's any shot in how we make the playoffs. If we do, great. Like that's extra football for me to enjoy and watch. Maybe we sneak a wild card game somehow against the Bills or the Steelers or something. But like, I
You
just I
got
don't.
this. You
Yeah, I'm
got
just
this.
not
Have
sold.
some faith.
I do not. I do not.
Have some faith. It's not all
I
doom and
have the
gloom.
faith that like we can get lucky, we could get some skill. I just do not have the faith that like Bo Nix is this like dynamic Super Bowl winning core. Like I do not see it. I'm
Never know.
hoping I'm wrong. I hope that one day we're a huge podcast and people will go back and find this and clip it and send it to me every single day of my life and they're like, look, you're wrong. He has 5 fucking Super Bowls. Oh no, I was wrong. Now I have 5 Super Bowls. Like I don't care. I want to be wrong, but like again, I'm just not sold, and I should be delusional. It's my team. I should be like, no, he's the fucking greatest thing ever. He's the white Michael Vick. Like, I should be losing my mind, but like, I'm not sold. So,
Fair enough.
um,
Moving
on
along
to
to the real frauds.
facts. One of the craziest divisions in football to begin with, but yeah, 49ers at Packers. Packers dog walk the 49ers, 38-10.
Yes. I couldn't be happier about it. I hate the
Yeah, I know you
40
hate your
winers.
49ers. Yeah, I know you do. The Packers,
So
though, they look good.
they do.
A rough start to the season, looking like they were going to lose Jordan Love. Malik Willis plays like it was not a fantastic start, but I mean like they're playing great football now. Like
Yeah.
they are running the ball, like their defense is solid. Like and the 49ers, like what is going on in San Francisco?
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
Claps.
I don't care
I'm
what's
loving
going
it.
on.
Yep.
It
Don't
reminds me
care.
of that, like, this thing's delicious. I want 14 of them. You want to know what's in it? No, I don't care. Give me 14 of them.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the 49ers lost today. You're like, cool, give me more of it. You're like, you want to know why they lost? No, I don't care. Give me 14 more
Yeah.
losses.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit why they lost. I
Yeah.
don't care if C-Mac played. I don't care if he retired, IR, Debo, Ayuk. I don't give a shit. Just tell me the 49ers lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just not, they're not clicking right now. It
Yeah.
is rough.
Look, there's 2 things that, in my opinion, are going on in San Francisco. One, your roster's getting old. They are. There's no other way to put it. They're old.
Yep.
And then the second thing is they got the injury bug bad this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Purdy
Damn
and Trent
near-
Williams being out, C-Mac being out. Like, it was a one-sided game.
I would love-
rightfully so.
I would love to have the stat of how many games they have missed per man. You know, when they do those. They put
Yep.
those out where they're like, "Hey,
Yep.
we have 115 missed games this year based on
Right.
all the guys that
All
missed out of the
yep.
starters." Because I know that number's big.
Yeah, no.
So-
49ers fully healthy are absolutely a top 3 seed. Like,
Yeah.
C-Mac comes out starting the season. Everybody's healthy. Trent's blocking. No
Right.
training camp issues with Ayuk and Debo. Like,
Yeah,
they're a top 3 team, no question. They have coaching. They have great players. Like, people getting hurt, people questioning retirement, like, all this other shit is what causes all these issues. And so, like, I mean, but again, though, they have a veteran coach. They have veteran players. Like you said, they're getting older, but that means that they've been around. They know this shit. So, like,
yeah,
like they're like the NBA team that like we don't need to be a 1 seed. We just gotta make the playoffs. Like we know what
Right.
we're doing when we get there. Like just get us in there. Let us beat up on that young
Yeah,
2 seeds.
I
Like the 49ers
was
are
gonna say, I would
dangerous.
not
Again, they're
wanna
yeah. You
host
don't want to
them.
see them. Like
Yeah.
as you're roasting them and hating them, you don't want to fucking play them. Like you
Yeah.
do not want San Fran on the road in Philly because like who knows what could happen.
Are you watching
So,
Saquon squat this?
I caught my attention. I saw bars flinging in the air. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
They're just wobbling on the end, bouncing. Well,
Do I feel
Saquon
blood?
and Jalen.
Do I feel blood flow to my center section? What just happened?
Yeah,
That was crazy. Yeah, no, that's nuts. He just
Yeah.
fucking, unreal for a running back. That's fucking not bad for a running back. Yeah, that's just crazy. But
and then
yeah, continuing the
moving on
craziest division in
to,
football.
yeah, as you mentioned, the most questionable division in football. Seahawks win 16-6 over the Cardinals in Seattle. This is one of those things where you're like, one of these teams is going to make the playoffs as a 4 seed, and that's wild.
Super wild.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident at this point in saying the Rams are going to lose this football game. So that means Seattle and Arizona are tied for the conference or the division lead at 6 and 5, and right now Seattle has the tiebreaker based on the win today.
Yep.
Um,
Which also a
and did
surprising
they
win.
beat them twice? They played earlier this season, right?
I do not remember if they. I think. Why do I feel like they have a game left?
Oh, they do. Yeah, they play again in 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
Um,
That'll be a great game then too,
yeah,
because that's gonna have some playoff implications.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I just it's I don't know what to say about this division. It just
It's crazy. It's
everybody was
nuts.
like,
I
"Oh, the
love it.
49ers win this division, it's a lock," and then 49ers just get hurt, get old, happens. Um,
And then at
and
that
then
point, it really is wide open for any of the other three teams:
yeah,
Rams,
and
Cardinals,
and
Seahawks.
they're
And
all
then
just beating up on each other.
The
Yeah,
Rams, half their team dies in a bus crash day one of the season, and then it's like, okay, well now it's definitely got to be the Cardinals or the Seahawks, and they're both terrible. And then the Seahawks come out 3-0. The Cardinals are playing well, even post Call of Duty. Like,
yeah,
and now it's like, oh wow, those are actually good teams. And then the Rams and 49ers start kind of getting their shit together. Then the 49ers get beat the shit out of by the Packers. Now the Rams are about to lose to the Eagles. Like, yeah, what a crazy, crazy division. Like, it is going to be a terrible, terrible. Like, that is going to, it's like the SEC almost, where it's like they're all good teams, but you got to keep playing each other. And
yeah,
so somebody's got to lose. And then you get to the playoffs as like 9-8 or whatever.
right.
Damn.
Two
In
tush
my chest right
pushes.
now.
There it is.
Well, yeah, a little touch put. Oh, got him. Got him. So we drove outside, damn it. All right. But yeah, I mean, that pretty much wraps
Oh,
up for
oh,
4
we're
o'clock
having a
games. And then, yeah,
conversation.
we're into our Sunday night here. A couple other news, though, that we're talking about. Daniel Jones, big money man for New York, released.
I want to know what that dead cap space is in New York.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, I feel fucking even dumber saying that though, because I know that the Saints and the Broncos are in a worse spot than the Giants. Even after that, like, we are still in cap hell, and the Giants are like, we got some money to play with. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that. Yeah, so Daniel Jones, free agent. Lots of rumors swirling around because he is a legitimate potential quarterback. Like, it could be an issue with just the Giants, could be a mental thing, could be New York, could be the fucking field. Like,
Yeah.
he might like him schemed better and a better offense, or whatever, because he is mobile. He's kind of fast. He trips himself running against the Eagles, but other than
Right.
that, like, if he didn't trip himself on that play, the narrative of him being mobile is a lot different. But after that, everyone was
I don't
like,
know
"Do
about
not."
that.
Everyone was like, "Do not let him get outside the pocket ever again." But like, he can, like, he can run. But yeah, I mean, he's no Lamar Jackson, but like, yeah, he can get
Right.
outside. He's not a Peyton Manning. Like, he's not flat footed, concrete footed in center pockets. Like, he can get out there. But yeah. Other than that, though, like I said, yeah, Tuesday night we'll talk about it a little bit more. We can give kind of our Thursday recap. But Thanksgiving Day, I mean, we have a Cowboys game, which is just a snooze fest. Cowboys
Can't
Giants is
wait.
pathetic. Like, Danny DeVito,
Yeah,
Tommy DeVito.
can we get a flex on that, please?
You literally, like, please, anything else? Like, put an NBA game in at that slot or something. Like, give me something.
Just
Like, I
cancel
don't
the
care.
game.
Yeah, like, let me nap without feeling.
Postpone it to Sunday.
Let me nap without feeling guilty about missing football. That is truly, you are right, AJ. Flex that game until Sunday. That way I can nap on Thursday without feeling bad about missing a football game. Because if I nap, I'm going to be like, damn it, I missed football. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rams Packers, or Packers Dolphins will be a good
Yeah.
game. The night game will be good.
Who do the Lions play?
Bears, Lions, Bears.
Lions,
So
Bears.
that could be a good game because the Bears put up a fight against the Vikings today, but I think the Lions are a significantly better team, so they
Yeah.
may as well just beat the shit out of the Bears. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, other than
Yeah.
that, though, we got 3 minutes left here. So I mean, Sunday Night Football's wrapping up. Pretty sure the Eagles are gonna finish this out. I don't want to jinx them, but
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
imagine the Rams are getting 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions here in the next 3 minutes with one timeout. But
Right on.
yeah, anything else?
All right. Just a
Maybe
fun
there's-
fact for you.
maybe
Start your
we-
week off right. Lego is the world's biggest tire manufacturer, and Saquon just had another touchdown.
He said, just in case y'all were confused, game over.
Just in case y'all thought, I'm gonna take this for what 70 yards or so. So, yeah, Lego is the world's biggest tire manufacturer.
At first, in my head, I was like, "You mean to tell me that they make tires?" I didn't know that, but then it was like, "Oh, okay, no, that does make sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
they do technically make tires."
Yep.
Well, that has got to be another fun factor. A Thursday conversation, one of those things where like, what are there more of in the world, like doors or windows or doors or tires or whatever? Because then it's just like, well, there's like back doors, but there's side doors, but there's closet doors, but then there's wheels, and it's like, it gets. What is
Yeah,
it?
oh yeah,
Windows or doors? I think it's windows or doors. I think that's the question. I don't think it's tires or doors. I think it's
yeah.
windows or doors.
I've always heard arms or legs or eyes. There are more legs or eyes in the world.
That's a new one. Are there more doors or? And yeah, it's doors or wheels. That's the question.
Doors or wheels. Yeah, that makes sense. Because also, like, every you think about your first, my mind automatically goes to cars, but every car has at least four doors.
No, it has at least four wheels.
But it also has four doors.
It might only have two. What if it's a coupe?
Okay, fair enough. But it's still it has
It
it's
says
still
they have four
most
wheels
of them
though.
have two. But then you go to houses and
You could have a hella doors and no wheels.
exactly. And then do you go to anything that has wheels but no doors? Trailers?
Yeah, you could. You could have big flatbed trailers that have
Yeah,
fucking
every
6,
tractor
8, 10,
trailer.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of wheels.
Yeah,
Now
every
going, yeah,
tractor trailer
see?
has what, two, four, eight wheels on the back
But it
of it?
also has a door on the back.
True. Two doors on the back.
The
Yeah.
tally just gets crazy because, like, as you bring up things, you're like, okay, well, skyscraper, you're like, all right, no wheels, but a hella doors. But then it's like, well, technically, like, the elevators have wheels. And, like, I've seen this
Yeah.
argument get so intricate, and it's like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I
There
no
is
longer,
no correct answer. I mean,
yeah,
there is
I
a
no
correct
longer
answer,
care.
but it's not worth figuring out.
No one's going to audit it, so no one cares.
Yeah.
So. All right.
All right. Well,
Cool
appreciate
beans.
y'all. Have a great week.
Yeah,
We'll
happy
see y'all
Thanksgiving. We'll see you
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning for it, though. So,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. So enjoy
Yep,
it.
take care,
Hopefully, it's a
everyone.
short week
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, everyone has a nice short week. Gets out of work nice and early. Get all that good stuff. Go out drinking Wednesday night. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a good Black Friday. Enjoy the weekend.
Hell yeah. Have a good day.
Take care.